Two balls and a strike to count on Taylor. Reyes fires, swing and a drive, deep left field. It's his way back. Walk the ball. Chris Taylor.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined today by Matt Moreno, and we've got the Trea Turner update, some rumor roundup that you all have, I'm sure, have been waiting for. Juan Toribio, the Dodgers beat writer of MLB.com, reporting that the Dodgers are hesitant, even reluctant to meet sort of the desired contract that Trea Turner is looking at. Toribio threw out 8 years, $250 million is what Trea wants. He doesn't think the Dodgers will get there. Matt, are you surprised that that's the number Trea is looking for? And if it is, are you surprised the Dodgers aren't willing to go there?
Not surprised that that's the number he's looking for. It's honestly, maybe a little bit lower than I would have guessed. And so then with that, I'm a little surprised that the Dodgers aren't willing to do it. But like we've discussed, I personally have concerns over the 7-8 year type contract. I would much prefer like 5 or 6 at, maybe even a higher dollar amount. And so I guess if that's the stance the Dodgers are taking, I can understand it. But, like the video we have up earlier this morning as well, like they have a clear need at shortstop, and how they sort of address that, like, you can't, in my opinion, you can't necessarily just slide over, potentially Gavin Lux. And I know he might be going to third base, not even shortstop. But they have a need at shortstop. And so if you're not going to do Trea Turner, like, I would be interested to see what the answer is.
Yeah, I mean, there was an article that talked about, I think it was Fabian Ardai, talking about Andrew Friedman's favorite word, optionality. They like having options. What's interesting is they have not left themselves any options at shortstop right now. I mean, I've said I think Gavin Lux is technically an option there. He's probably the only internal option. Jacob Amaya is maybe a guy that you trust defensively at shortstop, but the bat is a massive question mark, and how that would play up at the major league level. And so, interestingly enough, the Dodgers, I think, are in a spot where they lack optionality. I think they are actually desperate to go out and do something. Now, the good news for them is there are options on the market. Their optionality is not in-house, it's out of the house. There are 4 free agent shortstops that most people think are kind of all-star caliber guys, depending on what you think about Dansby Swanson maybe. But the other 3 guys definitely all-star types. Dansby Swanson coming off of a season that was better in many ways than the other 3 guys had. And so those are options. You've got trade candidates, Willy Adames, who we've talked about in this space. Tim Anderson, another name who I think there's rumors about whether or not he's actually available, but that's a name that's at least been floated out there. And so that gives you 6 options, plus a 7th if you want to include Gavin Lux as an internal option. Amaya would be 8th, I suppose. So that's what makes it interesting. So to answer my own question, I'm not surprised that that's what Trea Turner is looking for. $30+ million for 8 years seems about right. Like is it going to be $31 million? Is it going to be $34 million? I think MLB trade rumors had him at like 33.5. And so whatever, like, I think we're just sort of parsing dollars at that point. But I've been pretty consistent that I really like Trea Turner. I would love to have Trea Turner on my team for the next 3 years. For years 4 through 8, I would be concerned. I don't know how he's going to age. I have a lot of questions. And as I dig in on the other shortstops, they've all got warts. They've all got something. Bogart's defense is a real concern. And as some people have pointed out, there are metrics over the last year that maybe things aren't trending in the right direction offensively for him, although I push back against that. Then you've got Correa, who's got off the field stuff, I think is his blemish. And then you've got Dansby Swanson, who had one great year, not really good, but great year. And yet the 4 years prior were sort of above average. And so everybody's got question marks. I think Trea's is, how is he going to age? And that's a big concern for me. So he's not at the top of my list for shortstops. If he gets 8 for $250, I hope it's not the Dodgers that sign him to that. Now, I know you and I disagree. Trea is your top option, I believe, right, Matt, among shortstops. And so if this is what it takes, are you willing to go there?
I would be willing to do it. And I would, like I said, I would have concerns similar to you about, of the back half and definitely the later years of that contract. But I would think and hope, if you're the Dodgers, that you're betting on the early years. And if you win, 1 World Series during that span and maybe even a second, then you live with whatever the second half of that contract looks like. But yeah, I mean, I think Trea just brings, a dynamic to the lineup and the team that they don't really have. And frankly, none of the other free agent shortstops would really provide in terms of, the speed power combination.
Yeah.
And I'll even add with Correa, like I would be a little concerned about his back injury. I know he seems to, maybe have moved past that, but you never know. Like we've seen with Clayton Kershaw, like back trouble can kind of crop up whenever, things could be going great until they're not. And so that would be another concern I have. But yeah, I still do have Trey kind of at the top of the list of shortstops that I believe the Dodgers should be focused on.
Yeah, to your point, Correa, I believe, has missed 100 more games than the other 3 free agent options over the last 5 years. And so that's not something that's not something just to overlook and ignore. Yeah, and I mean, look, Trea Turner, like when he's 35, 36, is it possible that he shifts to like second base and is still providing you some value at the bat? I think so. I just don't know how elite the bat is once he doesn't lead the league in infield singles and how much he's going to be worth as an above average hitter who can't play shortstop. And do you want to be paying $35 million for that 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now? I think those are all concerns. So not surprised that the Dodgers reluctant to meet this, but reluctant doesn't mean they won't. Like we might get maybe Dansby Swanson goes off the market, maybe Bogarts goes off the market, and then it's a staring contest between the Dodgers and Trea Turner. And maybe they just say, look, is it going to cost us an extra $10 million? Is there an extra 2 years on this that we didn't really want? Yeah, but we need a shortstop. And maybe this ends up sort of being the reunion that everybody talked about. I did find it interesting. Ken Rosenthal mentioned that the Padres are another team that are in on Trea Turner. They would move Tatis to the outfield and AJ Preller, a guy that knows Trea Turner from previously. And so, I don't know if I think taking him, maybe if you feel like you're competing with the Padres, maybe that ups the ante a little bit. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. 8 for 250 for Trea Turner. You signing on the dotted line if you're the Dodgers and Andrew Friedman, or are you saying hard pass, we'll go somewhere else? Let us know below. That's Matt Moreno. My name's Jeff Spiegel. As always, thanks for joining us. Check out DodgerBlue.com for all the latest. DodgerBlue1958 on social media. And of course, subscribe and ring the notification bell here as well. Because as soon as Trea Turner makes a decision, or Xander Bogaerts makes a decision, or there's a trade, or Aaron Judge, which is rumored to be coming soon, we will have all the latest breakdowns and what it means for the Dodgers right here. Again, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day. As always, go Dodgers.